Hey guys, so as you can see, I'm out with the BCG BMW E30, and as you may notice, there's a few other ones. There's one, there's one, there's one. Why are there more E30s here? Is because I've just come to pay a visit to E30 Centre in Burntwood, and this is Simon.
Yes.
What's your surname, Simon?
Williams.
Simon
Hello.
Williams. There you go. Say hi to everybody.
Hello.
So tell everybody. I'm going to turn the camera around. Tell everybody what it is that you do here.
A brown car guy. Brown car guy.
Do
you want me to hold this?
So that people can hear you?
Do you want me to clip it on?
You can clip it on if you want to, yeah. There you go.
All right. This is very
So
interesting.
so I tried to count how many E30s you have, and I lost count.
I have lost count as well. I'm going to say between 20 and 25 are here,
Wow.
at least I would have thought.
So what is it that you do? So first of all, how can people find you? Because you're on. Let's go inside.
Yeah.
You're on Instagram and stuff.
Absolutely. So mainly the Instagram is what's doing the shouting for us, really.
Right,
The pictures that we're putting up, they talk for themselves.
Yeah,
The work that we're putting up, that's what's building people up. The messages that we're getting, everything, and everything is tailored to that individual car. So it's not, there's no set rules. There's no particular work that we do or don't do. It's whatever that car needs to get it back to a point where it's
But
back
clearly,
up
from
to.
the number of E30s in here, that's something that. Although I've noticed one E28.
One
as well,
E28,
but
yeah.
Other than that, but this is what you specialise in, the E30.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
So where did that come about from?
I guess it's one of them things that was imprinted in my brain from when I was a child, really. I grew up in these cars. My parents had these cars. I'm an 80s baby, so this is the kind of thing that we saw on the street. This is the kind of thing that we used to smell, this petrol, didn't we? We used to, there was not a time where we had catalytic converters that were taking away all them smells that we could get. So I think that's probably
And the distinctiveness of the sound, as we were discussing.
Absolutely, there's no denying you can hear an E30 from 6 blocks away. It's which again is what we was talking about there was about not changing the exhaust too much to get rid of that crisp sound that they have that we all love, really. I mean, like I say, you fire any of these up and
so we are both confess that we love the E30, but clearly a lot of people do. I mean,
absolutely,
what is it about the E30 that people are bringing these cars to you?
It's got to be one of them things where it's just, again, it's probably a family thing. Everything's come down. The dads would have had, the granddads would have had. They were a car that people had to work on their own as well. You had to adjust your points on a weekend. You had to do your own maintenance. Again, which is why you see that toolkit is in the back of a BMW. You won't get that in a modern car. You will not find a full toolkit with all the spanners for doing this, that, and the other. You won't get a jack or a spare tyre now. So I mean, we're talking of a time where these were engineers. It's a deep down engineering thing, isn't it? I think at heart it's.
So can you tell us about some of the cars that are in here? Because I know this one was on Instagram recently.
For sure, yeah. So this has come all the way over from Ireland.
Wow. And this is a special Bauer convertible.
Bauer, Top Cat Bauer. So I mean, a little bit of history on that. Bauer used to buy these as a bare shell from BMW, so they come straight off the production line as a shell. They go over to Bauer, which would then do numerous cuts to the vehicle to be able to add in the fabric soft top. Obviously, they give you two options. You can take the roof out here, and they give you a nice little place in the boot then to slot this roof into. So you slot the roof into these rails here, which you don't normally obviously see that on anything else. And then after that, obviously, if you want to go the full way, then you'd then fold your back panel down, and you've almost got a complete panoramic, more so than a convertible. They're very interesting, very rare. We have got the two. There's another one, a gold one outside there. The one at the front there, that's just got dropped off today.
That's a full convertible as well. Then.
Yeah. Well, these came first, you see. Before in the older model, that was the only option that you had to get a convertible. Then the E30, it was the first one that they actually did.
The end of the line.
End of the line, yeah. So these carried on. These and the cabriolets run longer. They were the final production ones. So we're talking right up to 1994 that they made these. Which at that point, the E36 had started started production, and these were still being built, these were still being produced. This one's a nice example because we've got air conditioning. Yeah, it's got we're doing a retrofit for the new aircon gas because the old gas is not compatible anymore. So you have to do various changes to the pipework, the valves, and so on. Various things had to be changed to get it on, and same with the pump. The pump for the aircon also needs to be changed. So there's a little bit of bracketry we've got to do there to get the pump into the right position. Mix and match a little bit with the belts to get the belts all nicely taut. And then this will go now.
But this one already had aircon on it.
Already had. So you've got to have.
If one doesn't have it,
yeah.
Can you still retrofit it?
You only if you had the correct airbox inside the car, because they've got a different for the aircon condenser as well. It's a different airbox setup inside. So you're lucky if you've got the original one that did have aircon. It can be retrofitted then and changed over. But if you've got nothing, it'll be a very difficult thing to just start with from base and then build up from that.
And so we've got the straight six. I mean, we've got a lot of these are actually 325s as well.
Yep, 325s. Yeah.
Is that the engine of choice these days, the 325?
I would say so. I think it's the most bulletproof engine that BMW have ever built. I think personally, I think that the ones that came after, a lot of it aluminium and plastic. It just doesn't last. These old engines, these old cast iron engines, I think that they'll go forever. I don't think that there's any time. There's more maintenance that's to be done with them. There's more. Your valve clearances should be done every year. Your cam belt period is shorter than any chain-driven engine, but they just have such a crisp sound, and I think they're perfect for these cars. I think these cars, they don't need to be fast, they just need to be responsive, they need to have a nice sound to them, and they just need to start and drive really. And I think that's
torque that you get
absolutely. I think there's a lot of.
You have an E28 here. Now you were saying something interesting, that the E28 is basically an E30 but upsized.
Basically, upsized. Yeah. So I mean, you'll find the very similar setup. Very similar. I mean, a lot of the things inside, switches, other bits and pieces, are exactly the same and interchangeable between the two. So even fuel pumps and so on, it's all using the same sort of stuff, which I think is a tried and tested. So they carried on, and it obviously worked out to be correct. Really, there was
the setup. I mean, you seem to have everything here. I mean, you've got some engine blocks there.
Yep. I mean, you can have a look at the refurbished engines if you like. So we try and keep things in different areas. So and we do once they're done, they're then bagged up. So we've got a whole row here that all rebuilt M20s. So we're all every single one is built up, ready to go back into these vehicles. This is a 318 IS engine here. A 318i, so just the M40 engine.
So these engines are for these cars?
Yep. So for example, this one is for the Bauer that we just spoke about. We've obviously, once we've took the engine out to do the engine bay area repairs, we're doing the engine at the same time. Because it just makes sense, we've got the engine out, it's there. Why not renew everything? We new gaskets, everything that we can get to, we'll get to while it's out.
Is there a demand for these engines? Is there a trade? So, for example, do you just buy in engines and refurbish them?
Absolutely. I mean, again, we've just bought this one here. Some of them we're buying in because we need some extra parts. We need some parts to then move the next ones on. But eventually, we'll come back to that one, and that one will get rebuilt then, and we will put that one back to being either just a stocked spare engine. I mean, people would love to buy them off me, but you'd have to have. If you were a customer and you had your car and you needed an engine, I need that for that reason. I need that to be able to supply somebody and to be able to say, yes, we can get yours running no matter what, because we will have the spares.
But you don't modify or customize. That's not really your thing. It's more about maintenance and restoration.
Restoration and returning it back really to how it should be. I think that's the better thing. A lot of the modifications, their quality is not very good. We see a lot of exhausts that are just horrifically welded up and things like that.
Isn't it getting harder to find these without customization and modification? Because even in London, like if you do find an E30, they've all been modified.
A lot have, but I think it's a different generation that own them today, I think. I think the people that own them now, they want it to be original. I think there's more of a push of people that would like it to be original than there is of people that want to put, you know, and probably the same thing is I tell them, I think that it's not a good idea. I think, you know, a lot of people are, oh, I'd love to put the V8 engine in it and I'd love this and I'd love that. And I just think you wouldn't love the long term of keeping on top of that, and having the wrong thing in there will never be right. You know, it'll always be.
Well put.
It'll always be
The wrong thing
too
will never be
heavy.
right, yeah.
Too heavy, too thirsty, too noisy, and a lot of this. You know, if you are modifying them, there's corners you've got to cut. You've got to shrink. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you. Sorry. You know, a lot of people do a V8 conversion. They'll end up sacrificing brakes, and you think, oh, why would you want to put a big, powerful engine in and then reduce your braking, your braking power? Because it doesn't make sense to me personally. It doesn't seem to.
I tend to agree with you. I'm not one for modification myself too much, unless it's like small little things that you can improve here and there.
Yeah.
So anyway,
like a cup holder or something like that. That's a nice little modification.
Cup holder would be quite good.
Cup holder, nice. Yeah.
That's probably the one thing that I miss from the car is having a cup holder.
You've got nowhere to put it, have you? You know, it's in between your legs all the time, isn't it? It's the same. It's the same. Yeah, I think it was. I think they were more. Let's make sure the passengers have got the ashtrays in the back, but no cup holders.
Okay,
no cup holders. Ashtrays for your children, no problem. Yeah.
Well, great to finally meet you, Simon.
Absolutely,
Thanks so
and
much for
yourself.
showing me around.
Yeah, no problem. You're very welcome.
Shout out time, guys. Thank you so much. Hey, if you enjoy my content, why not get involved? Buy me a coffee. You can do that at either of these links. Or if you're watching on YouTube, buy me a thanks or take out a membership. It all helps. It really does.